In a life full of surprises, Michael Jackson's finances stand out. How could a man so rich be so broke when he died? Nearly $500 million in debt. Where did it all go? And why is he rolling in it now? Jim Avila follows the money.
Michael Jackson lives anew in an upcoming video game. And he's alive again in a new Cirque du Soleil stage production.
Cirque du Soleil and Michael Jackson.
The DVD of Jackson's This Is It concert movie is a marketing smash. A treasure trove of unreleased music is on the horizon. You can buy a King of Pop ringtone. His estate has sold $5 million worth since his death. Today, Michael Jackson is just about as hot as ever. In the year since he died, SoundScan reports that U.S. fans bought more albums than in his previous 8 years combined.
It was an amazing year for him.
Author Richard Sicklow says when it comes to money, his lost years are over.
He didn't work for nearly a decade, and so 2001 was his last studio album.
Jackson had made mounds of money in the 1980s, but as his popularity dropped and the money stopped coming in, it was still going out by the boatload.
I kind of, cringed at times.
His former publicist, Stuart Backerman, witnessed some of Jackson's legendary shopping excess, but says it wasn't always what it seemed. Take this spree that appeared in the Living with Michael Jackson documentary with Martin Bashir.
Well, these...
They were all for show.
Did we get those? I don't believe I like those.
He felt, like a lot of celebrities, but in Michael's case, because he was the biggest of them all, that he had to come off like he was an extravagant spender.
He did sometimes send things back, but there's no arguing. Michael liked to spend.
He didn't really take money seriously because he really deeply believed that money would never be an issue for the rest of his life.
The result of that attitude, money flew out the door of Neverland, which cost an estimated $600,000 a month to maintain. One former advisor claimed Jackson spent $8 million a year on plane charters, antiques, paintings, and other personal expenses.
At the lowest point, he was spending $10 to $15 million a year more than he was bringing in.
Did he have the savings to make that up?
It's as though you have, you take out a credit card and borrow the max on that credit card to pay off another credit card. He just did it on a gigantic scale.
Another huge expense? The lawsuits, settled with multi-million-dollar payouts, the most prominent with boys who accused him of sexual abuse. One child was paid nearly $20 million to settle his case. A second boy took him to criminal trial, and the legal costs there were large too. He stiffed his top lawyer for more than $300,000 till the day he died. But in an interview with Jesse Jackson, Michael denied financial troubles.
Michael, are you broke?
That's not true at all. It's just one of their many schemes to embarrass me and to just drag me through mud. This is sensationalized kind of gossip.
Even though Michael Jackson was found not guilty, the bad publicity hurt record sales, and his assets carried heavy mortgages, including the Beatles catalog and his own music rights. He owed upwards of $450 million, and creditors were at the door. Utility bills and staff unpaid.
I said, Michael, I just can't do this anymore.
Mike LaPerouse ran security for Jackson.
He apologized to me several times about not being able to pay me, that he would make it up to me. And I think he was very embarrassed.
And then the worst happened. 2 years ago, Michael Jackson faced foreclosure. He could not make the balloon payment on his once beloved Neverland.
It will be very embarrassing for Michael Jackson to lose his home in foreclosure.
Dr. Tomei Tomei, a very private businessman, was brought in by Jermaine Jackson at the last minute to help save the ranch and all of Jackson's personal property inside from foreclosure.
There've been 14 days left to pay how much money?
$23 million plus.
And how much did he have in the bank?
He didn't have anything close to that number.
Tomei put together an 11th-hour deal with an investment firm called Colony Capital to pay off the loan. So Michael and his advisors turned to his other debts and making a future for his kids.
He once told me, I don't want to be performing Billie Jean when I'm 50 years old.
But his manager told him he had to stop resisting a comeback and perform again.
I said, Michael, listen, if you wanted to control your own destiny, you have to go back to work because you need to make money.
The This Is It show in London was the solution. Randy Phillips of AEG, the company in charge of the 50-show tour, was shocked at how quickly the tickets sold out.
When we cut it off on the public on sale at 50 shows, there were enough people. There were over, I think, 225 to 240,000 people still queued up on Ticketmaster and the ticketing agencies were selling tickets. So we probably could have done 200 shows.
What would that have meant for Michael Jackson?
He would have netted probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 or $60 million for that run.
Phillips says This Is It was actually just the beginning. An international tour that could have brought in as much as $500 million to Jackson was in the works. But Michael was already spending his cash advance.
There was a house in Bel Air, and the owner wanted like $90 million for it. I said, Michael, you know, you could live very beautifully in Bel Air in a $15 million house.
In fact, only in death have Jackson's finances become solid. And for the first time in years, more money is coming in than is going out. Former manager and the man who calls himself Jackson's alter ego, Frank DeLeo, says that may sound like good news, but it came at too high a price.
I'm sure that's the way his children and his mother feel. All this money coming in, give me Michael.
Next, today's youngest superstars, taking what they learned from Jackson and making it their very own. When we come back.